Thank you, Lisa. Shout out to everybody who reached out to Lisa Evans to ask for her opinion on coconut water. She loves it. Finds it delicious, nutritious, wonderful. Warm day, cold day, Liam. Doesn't matter.
Coconut water.
Goes down
Drink
smooth.
For you.
The drink for everyone.
Finds it satisfying.
The syrup of the day.
Oh.
Gentlemen.
My microphone on? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Hey, we did this already, remember?
You were the one this is your job today.
I know, but I asked Dan to mic test me, and he just goes.
I didn't hit it hard enough, so then I smoked it, and that wasn't good enough either.
Are you good though over there?
I think we're looking good. I'll just talk loudly today.
Well, I also have the technology over here to turn you up. Which one are you?
I think it's just my microphone that's picking him up.
I think I'm mic 4. No, I'm mic 3.
I'll give you a little bump there.
Hello.
How's that?
It's my microphone. Yeah, that seems better.
All right.
Hey, what do we got?
Get a little tweak. For our friends at Wendy's, boy, we got a whole lot of show to get to today, so we might as well dive right into it. Of course, we start off with a delicious debate for our friends at Wendy's. There's only one thing sweeter than the taste of victory, and that's starting your day with a new Cinnabon pull-apart from Wendy's. There's no reason you can't have both now that Wendy's and Daily Face-Off Survivor are matching up to give you weekly prizes all season long. This is your last week, I think.
It is. You have until Friday.
I want to know how you did over the course of the season. If you're listening to this right now and you played Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor, I want to know how you did. What's the furthest you made it? Our boy Gavin, did he not win twice?
Twice at least, yes. Might have won 3 times.
It's doable.
Remember that one time Liam was really close and then just forgot to put it in his...
Forgot to do it.
You could have won delicious prizes, Liam.
I don't even know what they are.
Hey, even if you make a few wrong picks, at least you know that heading to Wendy's right now for a $5 Cinnabon pull-apart and a small coffee is a great choice no matter what. Sign up for Daily Face-Off Survivor today. Again, last week. Brought to you by Wendy's and the Wendy's app. Download that. Get some points. Get some delicious foods inside your mouth. Good? Good. You can put it wherever you want, I suppose. Just go buy to Wendy's. Okay? Got it. Delicious debate. Are you ready, Liam? Are you ready, Dan?
I'm always born ready.
Excellent.
You don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is because it's in my little coconut water right up here.
Swirling around.
The Oilers have 2 games remaining on the season. We have got the Arizona Coyotes tomorrow in their last game ever as a franchise.
Oh, wow.
That is on Wednesday, April 17th. On the 18th, Colorado Avalanche. A little back-to-back session here. The delicious debate, gentlemen, today. Something to ponder, something to think about. Put your coach's caps on. How are you utilizing Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl over these final 2 games? How are you utilizing the dynamic duo?
Cautiously.
Nation Dan, what do you think? Do you sit him? Do you play him? Normal shifts? What do you got?
I am okay with continuing to sit him. We saw sitting the nuclear deterrents, both McDavid and Draisaitl. Saw it last night. McDavid showing no signs of worse for wear after missing 2 games himself. I think it's fine. I don't think that this team really wanted to win the Pacific Division.
It's not over yet.
But I'm of the opinion that you just rest them and you play for the playoffs now. I hear what you're saying, Novrik. It's not over until the Canucks win another game.
What day is it today? Tuesday?
The 16th.
Tuesday. So
No,
Vancouver's got 2 games
You can't
left.
rest them.
They are 107.
You can't rest them that long. Tell them to go a week without playing? That's not good. We're guessing next Monday is game 1.
Sunday or Monday, probably. Yep.
Monday is...
Sounds like Monday.
Sounds like Monday.
Sounds like Monday.
The Oilers want it to be Monday
Okay.
because they have set 5 games in 7 days.
I'm betting Sunday.
That does make sense. I mean, like, what was it? 6 and 9 to wrap up this season. That's a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Liam? Sit him? Play him?
I was thinking about this. I think I would play them both against Arizona and just rest them for Colorado. Give the Mullet Arena fans something to cheer about when all the Oilers fans are down there.
Yeah, give the Oilers fans that are like either going to the game or reselling for 4 times the ticket price. Something to look forward to.
I would do that. And then I agree with Rick. I don't think you can just put them on the sidelines for a week, especially McDavid. Like Draisaitl is probably okay to do that because he hasn't just missed 3 games. So maybe you can give him a bit more of a break here. But I think you saw what they're kind of thinking last night when it was basically just the third and fourth line who rolled out for the third period.
They both played just over 15 minutes.
Well, the least was Connor Brown at 13:27.
I just meant the two, like Connor.
I know, but the first was I think it was Nugent-Hopkins who played 15:27. So they were like, basically everyone just rolled out. But I think I can see them both being out of the lineup for at least one of these next 2 games.
That means, well, I guess he pulled him out one. And if he pulled him out the same game and for both games, then nobody else gets to rest.
And also too, I guess,
like there's a Nuge out there, there's a Hyman out there. We don't know where they're sitting at right now.
Just real quick, looking at the minutes, who played the most forward minutes last night was Warren Foegele.
There you go. 9-shot Foegele.
15 minutes and 57 seconds was your ice time leader up front.
Wow.
Then McDavid played 15:47 right after that. So
did he really?
Yeah.
Because I thought he only played 1 shift in the third period.
No, he's out there 3 or 4 times. I was watching.
He was barely out. Was I not?
I don't think so.
Guess not.
I only noticed him really late because I had McDavid over 1.5 assists. And in a 9-2 game, you'd think he'd get a couple.
Well, that was part of the fun to me. Like, and I know we'll get to that eventually, but like, I was kind of chuckling to myself because I also had a couple of bets down on Connor last night. It's 8-1 and he didn't have an assist. I'm just like,
he should have had an assist 6 seconds into the damn game.
Yeah.
That should have been a Hyman goal. Like it was on the far end of where I was at. I thought it was a Hyman. I thought
I'm sure
it was.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
I was fist pumping before.
You could just tell by the the lack of reaction, I suppose, from the players, that it wasn't the 100th assist.
What I'm thinking, back to the delicious debate for a second, is I would have them both dressed for both games. 5-on-5 minutes, minimal. Give them a couple of twirls every now and then if you want to go. A couple of regular shifts here and there. Then power play.
They didn't even get one last night.
No, they didn't get one, which I found interesting. It's like,
I actually didn't mind that
either.
I didn't mind it either.
I thought the refs handled the game very well. By no means did it get out of hand and they had to do a lot. But like,
it wasn't even close.
They were like icings that were if it was a close game would have been called. They just like waved them off. Like offsides were very loose.
It was run the clock last night.
Get this thing over with. And I think that was actually, not to get too far, like good for them just to like, let's
well, I mean, like,
what are we going to learn from this game?
The San Jose Sharks are just terrible. Like, as much as I was having a good time watching them run the score up, like the last thing probably the refs want to be like, all right, number 1 power player rolling out there.
There were some really nice goals by the Oilers, though. There were some nice cross.
Really nice goals.
Good. They did like that.
The CC goal, the Bouchard goal.
How about 2 tap-ins from the
Perry goal?
defenseman?
Yeah. I couldn't believe CC. Bouchard, we've seen him do that a couple of times. Cody CC.
Driving the net? Have you seen that? Did you see the crazy stat? Since the deadline,
CC,
he's got as many 5-on-5 goals as Cooch.
CC and Brown both do. They're 4.
It's pretty
crazy.
hilarious to me how Cody Ceci went like a year and change without scoring a goal, like calendar year, and then he's rattled off 5 since February 13th. Good for him.
He was brought into the league to be like an offensive guy.
He was an offensive guy. I remember.
9th overall pick.
The majority of players are brought into the league to be offense players.
We almost traded Taylor Hall for him.
They just have to learn if they're actually not offensive when they get there, they have to learn how to.
We call that the Cogliano conundrum.
Yeah.
He was a goal scorer, Liam. Then they came in. He was just like, "You're Todd Marchand now."
Cogliano.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about Cogliano with Jason Demers a few weeks ago on Oilersnation Every Day because we were talking about when Holloway came up. What did he come up for? Prior to the Vegas game? Was that the one he came up for?
Yep.
So when he came up, we were talking about like how different of a role it is for him coming from Bakersfield, where it's like he's the guy. He's going to play 20 minutes, maybe 23 minutes, whatever it may be. First unit power play, all that stuff. And you come to the Oilers, how are you going to make an impact? And Tyler brought up the comparison of a Cogliano, who was a first round pick, right?
Yep.
20-something?
20-something, yeah.
Yeah. Comes into the league, is like this, supposed to be this big offensive guy. And it's like, you basically have to change your entire game to survive. And now did you just play his 1000th game last year or something?
Yeah.
Probably.
Cogliano didn't really change his game though till after he left Edmonton.
Yes.
Which
it was like
7-8 years into his career. So it's not really
about that.
Pardon?
I don't think he was that.
He was here for 4, actually.
Was it only 4?
It's amazing. He's only here for
that
4.
long.
Why is he only here for 4?
Yeah.
Do you know what they traded for him?
Spent the longest time in Anaheim.
Yeah.
We let him walk?
No, we traded him.
4?
2 second-round picks.
The trade was traded from Edmonton to
second-round
Anaheim Ducks for a second-round pick in 2013, which turned into Marco Roy.
Oh, but you know what else happened with him?
What else happened with him?
He was involved in the trade from Anaheim to Dallas, which had Devon Shaw in it.
That is.
Which ultimately led to Devon Score becoming an Edmonton Oiler.
I heard you have that trade tree tattooed on your arm somewhere.
Yes.
It's actually on my bum.
According to Hockey DB, that trade was a 1-for-1.
Wow, that makes sense. They're very equal players. Both second round. Well, same draft? No. Devon Shaw would have been a young buck at that time. Only his second year. He was
Still full of hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, we don't know you yet.
Cogliano would have the Iron Man game streak if it wasn't for that healthy scratch he received.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So I found out this little trick on Hockey DB recently. That if you go to, like when you go to a player's profile and it says like where they were drafted and stuff like that, you can click on a number of where they were drafted. So like, for example, Devon Shaw was the 61st overall pick. Do you guys know you could do this?
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
I did not know this. So then you can click in it and it tells you all the players that were drafted with that pick.
Liam, did you know if you go to dailyfaceoff.com and you click the goalie mask in the top right-hand corner?
Shows me starting goalies?
Yes.
Oh, I
Did you know
didn't
that?
know you could do this.
It shows you everyone has picked 61st overall.
Yeah.
61st overall ever. So there has been 3 players who have played 1,000 or more games in the NHL picked with the 61st overall pick. Wayne Simmons,
Right.
Alex Goligoski,
Mm-hmm.
Goski,
Goski.
and Craig Ludwig.
Craig Ludwig.
Jeez Louise, that was a mouthful.
I fucking hate Craig Ludwig.
Dallas Stars legend.
He still annoys me from those old Stars days.
Did you know that he would take his shin pads and how they round around your legs? He would melt them and then flare them out. So you got so you'd have like wider shin pads.
He
to
was
block
making
shots.
goalie pads.
He kind of was.
Bullshit.
The Oilers have never had a player that they've drafted with the 61st overall pick play a game in the NHL, and they've had 3 guys. Most recent one was Ryan Martindale.
Oof.
Remember him?
Big hopes
I'm
for
going
that
to go
guy.
ahead and say that the Oilers, outside of drafting top 10, not all that great over the last handful of years.
However,
What do you?
Ryan Martindale still has a big ripple effect on the Edmonton Oilers franchise.
How so?
The 62nd overall pick, Greg the Egg McKegg,
Mm-hmm.
Current Oiler.
was traded for
Or
Zach Hyman
Condor.
to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, what a bad trade.
And then
Holy
gradually, the best part about it,
Now we got both
Florida
of
had to throw in a conditional pick to get rid of Hyman and get the egg.
Holy cow.
There you go. That's how Zach Hyman became an
What was
Oiler.
the conditional?
And
Does it say?
there's Liam's left butt
it
cheek
never
trade.
became a pick. It just said, so Florida, to Florida for Zach Hyman and a conditional pick in 2017, and then whatever they did with that pick. Arguably, probably nothing.
Maybe the conditions didn't get met.
Toronto's like, yeah, don't worry about it, guys. We're good.
Maybe the conditions didn't get met. You're right.
What a horrible trade by Florida, by the way. I mean,
Terrible.
you don't know at the
Florida's-
time, but like,
Florida's had some pretty bad trades over the
Isn't it
years.
as bad as allowing a guy like him to walk away for free?
arguably.
Here's my last hockey DB thing.
Go ahead.
Zach Hyman, the 123rd overall pick. He needs, so Craig Conroy has the most goals and the most games played by 123rd overall pick with 182 goals. Zach Hyman needs 33 to pass him. Become the all-time 123rd
I say he does it.
overall pick scoring leader. I think you might be able to sneak
You know what? I'm a Dan.
Really going out on a limb with me, Baggedmilk.
500th game last night for Hyman.
How many games did Craig Conroy have?
1,009.
What a bum.
He doesn't matter.
And he's only 30 goals back of him. Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next GM of the Calgary Flames. Zach Hyman.
Zach Hyman.
Zach Hyman is going to borrow some money from his parents, buy the Flames, and close the franchise down.
That is the only way you can own a franchise.
You know? I'm just putting that out there. Just like I'd also put it out there that I don't plan on cooking this week at all. Not once. I'm going to do nothing but DoorDash my food in. Everything I consume will be brought to you by DoorDash. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the promo code NATION25. That is 25% off, up to $10 value, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and use the promo code NATION25. Don't forget, promo code NATION25 for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Offer valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms do apply. This is where we pick who delivered. Liam, you're looking at Hockey DB. You're studying the numbers. You are in the matrix. Who delivered for you over the last handful of days since we last recorded a podcast?
So that would have been Friday. So we have Arizona,
Vancouver.
Didn't count. Vancouver didn't count. Do you know, actually, he didn't play last night, but I thought Evander Kane had a pretty good game against Vancouver. Obviously, got the goal, played physical, like was engaged in the game. So I liked what we saw from him. And I know people were kind of speculating last night because he didn't play, but it's like, you don't play a guy for 20 minutes who scores the only goal of the game and then healthy scratch him.
No.
I think yesterday was a legit maintenance day for Evander Kane.
Like the playoffs start on Monday.
Exactly.
Like,
Not only 97 and 29 need to rest. Some other guys need to rest too, by the way.
Exactly.
and especially like given the way he plays too. Come on.
Yes.
Use your head.
Yeah.
Nation Dan, for our friends at DoorDash, who delivered for you?
I'm going to give it to a guy that, again, I think I've only mentioned his name once in this segment. Otherwise, this season is Warren Foegele. Comes in and just absolutely trounced the Sharks himself, seemingly playing in his contract year. Some time to show some stuff here into the playoffs. Heading into the playoffs, Warren Foegele gets my delivery of the game.
I wrote about Warren Foegele in my post-game article, and I've decided, at least my heart has, I'm going to miss him next year when he prices himself out of Edmonton.
Don't guarantee yourself that.
I'm not guaranteed. But like when you see a guy that's scoring 19 goals, contract year,
Where are you going to go? You want to win? You want to make some money?
Well, that's the question. But at some point, like chasing the bag is a thing you kind of think about.
And at some point,
What's he make right now?
275.
Oh, that's the most he's ever made?
Indeed.
Yeah.
At some point, the Edmonton Oilers have to stop paying these people for multiple years as well and start just dangling those contract year contracts in front of them.
You don't want to lock down a player who scored 20 goals like that?
Nope.
Why, you think they grow on trees?
Nope. But I think that you need to start thinking as an organization to start pivoting around those contracts, those big albatross contracts that are coming. I just think that we need less of Warren Foegele's on 2 and 3 year contracts and more contract year guys that then can go out and chase the bag.
How do you sign your big guys to contracts if they know that everyone around them are only on 1 year contracts?
Some of them are going to want to come back. Some of them are going to see the value in coming back for another show me contract. But I'm sick and tired of handing out contracts to guys just because they put up 20 goals on this franchise when,
You make it sound like it's so easy though.
No, I don't. But
You said just because they had 20 goals.
Yes. Because they go out and they score 20 goals and
that's a good thing.
What has Warren Foegele done for this team when he wasn't in his contract year?
He's been busting his ass all year.
This year in his contract year.
He's busting his ass all the time. He's a streaky scorer though.
Yeah. And
that's what everybody who's not in the top line is.
Yeah. And that's why you're okay with that on 1 year contracts. Cause I want streaky guys to be on my 1 year contract.
I don't think those guys want to, I don't see guys like that are going to want to sign 1 year contracts.
Oh, then that's fine. They don't want to be an Edmonton Oiler and be a part of the mix that we've created here. Then that's fine. But what they've done for Warren Foegele this season and what Warren Foegele has done for himself yet next year is exactly what Baggedmilk is talking about. Wish him well as he goes and secures the bag for somebody else.
That's crazy. I want him to stay here.
I want him to stay too. I just don't know if the Oilers will be able to afford him.
You're going to move on from a guy like Kulak, a guy like Ceci, most likely a guy like Kane. You're going to try and get out of, say, Soup's money. There's also $5 more million coming in under the salary cap with just a going up, I believe, somewhere around there. I believe a guy like Warren Foegele, if you do things properly, you can find spot for a guy like Warren Foegele.
Where is Kane going?
You'll try and move on from, I think, this year.
Doesn't he have a no move?
It becomes like
wouldn't be the first guy to get moved who has no move.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see anybody taking that on for this franchise myself. They're not going to do the
Everyone thought he was
Edmonton
going to go to
favors.
Florida or Tampa Bay to begin with.
Who thought that?
Washington was the team.
Yeah, everyone like Washington can handle him because they've got the I can't remember. Yeah, the veterans or whatever, that room can handle them. And then Florida and Tampa Bay were also in that conversation because they were going to be able to handle them, and the Oilers weren't going to be able to handle them. I think a guy like Kane, you see, is kind of like a guy like Tortorella, where he's got two years probably. Get him in, he can do his things, and then maybe his time is up and he move on. And I think what's he got left? Do you have 2 years or 1 year after this?
Kane?
Yeah,
3.
He has 3 years left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get out of that.
It's going to be interesting to see what that would look like. You're not getting much back or a grenade coming back at you probably.
Or
if
you're
you
paying
get a grenade for
We think
1
that a
year
lot of
rather
times,
than
though, and I think we
three,
see a lot of trades go out there that happen that were a lot more like, that guy's not movable, and then a trade happens, and
Oh,
they're
it
like,
happens
whoa,
all the
wow.
Sorry,
Happens
it's
all the time.
2 years left.
Yeah, I was going to say
After this one?
three is silly. Yes.
Yeah.
So
No,
two.
I think that's totally movable.
So yes, that's completely movable.
Well,
People like to complain a lot about Evander Kane. I don't necessarily get it all the time. He's streaky,
No,
but he
people
still got 24 goals this year, or whatever it is.
Yeah. And that's going 21 games without a goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's value out there for a guy like that.
I think I would bring back Foegele
Mhm.
for the reason of there's not a
He
lot.
fits in.
Well, you know, you've
He's a
got
good third line winger.
There's not a lot of other guys out there right now. He's probably the best, second best right winger on the market. The other one is Jake DeBrusk. Is he a left winger?
He's a
Whatever.
lefty.
He's a lefty, but he plays
So
on
is
the right.
Jake, though.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Sorry.
Warren
Lefties or
Foegele
righties,
plays left
whatever.
wing a lot more.
Yeah.
He can put him on the right, but I think he's more naturally
The
on the left
market,
side.
I don't know. I just don't think the market favors the Oilers to like get rid of him, which might also help you get him a little bit cheaper.
And that's one of
I
those
just
things
don't
where
know
you'd
what he's gonna
rather,
be.
it's one of those things where you'd rather deal with the devil, or whatever the hell that saying is. You know what you have in a Foegele. You don't know what you have in Joe Blow out there who you might just pencil in there instead of it. I'd rather go with this than.
And also, you could just go 2 years and don't put a no movement clause on him.
Yeah,
And then you can
That's fair.
ship him out a little bit easier.
I just like to see him get
What do you
1
think
year.
that Warren Foegele resigns for?
3,
3-5.
5 at the most, I would say. 2 or 3 years.
I
An
say
800 grand-
3.5 to 4 is my guess.
And
for
an
agency.
800 grand
Don't
raise to 800 to 1.5 raise is fine.
I think, I guess is my prediction would be if he signs in Edmonton, it'll be 3-5. If he signs elsewhere, it'll be 4.
That's what I mean.
And let's not forget, he's very comfortable with a certain group here, as well as the big end players are very like him as well. And we saw that with a guy like Janmark that a lot of people didn't want to bring him back,
Tyler.
but Connor wanted him brought back. Leon wanted him brought back. The nucleus that wanted him brought back for reasons. And I think that's what you'll see with a guy like Foegele.
Tyler.
And he's in Ariada. Former Ariada.
There you go.
So, I mean, we got to collect them all. Taylor.
Actual
Radish,
otter, though?
Yeah, I believe the first ginger otter.
Literal otter. Warren Foegele. I would love to have him. I could see him based on the year he just had being like, I wouldn't go land in Columbus for $4 million a year.
Why?
$4 million a year.
Columbus. Have you not heard of Johnny Gaudreau? How's that working for him?
I just haven't heard his name for
Exactly.
years.
I'm with you. But sometimes that money will, I mean, Anson Carter did it, right? Why he should have stayed in
Anson Carter didn't go
Vancouver.
to.
He should have stayed in Vancouver. The Sedin twins ended up chasing the bag in Columbus. He got it. Didn't score shit after.
Yeah, but he was playing with the Sedins and like all of a sudden thought he. I'd like to see what his salary was with Vancouver to what he chased.
It tripled.
It tripled. Yeah, we're talking a triple in a contract, not 800 grand.
Might have been double. Either way, it was
Yeah, it's much bigger than going from 275 to 35
I just think like,
or even 4 for that matter.
I don't think it's unreal. I'm with you.
Mhm.
I want to be with you.
Mhm.
I just don't think it's unreasonable that guys will chase the bag.
I think it is, but I think it's pretty easy to see those people from a distance.
Especially if the sentiment is that DeBrusk and Foegele are the best wingers options.
You could argue Foegele might be better.
That's just assuming that Liam knows what he's talking
Well,
about.
but even then, like even if that is the mix,
That is an assumption.
If that's the mix of wingers, that is the top end, that ain't great.
Well, Jacob
Exactly. At that
Voracek
point,
is a
you
UFA
can't let him
this
walk
year,
then
too.
because how are you going to replace him? What's that?
Jacob Voracek is a UFA.
He's an older guy though, isn't he? How old is he now?
He's not even playing this shit.
That's, yeah.
I was like, didn't that guy just retire? No,
I was like,
that's
wait a minute.
Silverberg. That was the other Jacob. Jakob.
Sorry, I'm completely wrong.
Rick, for our friends at DoorDash, who delivered for you?
I'm going to go with Adam Henrique.
Man, I love him.
That dude
I
gets
fucking
placed.
love
That
him.
dude gets placed on Leon's line, scores a goal.
Love him.
Dude gets placed on Connor's line, scores a goal. He's just doing, and he's doing things on the second line. He's doing things on the first line. You can plop him down to the third line. Hell, you can end up putting him on the fourth line as a center role or whatever. He does the job regardless of where he's placed, and he's successful at it.
Talking about a guy I wish the Oilers could afford to bring back. He's one.
Well, again, that's going to be
Because he is quietly good at so many things.
Mhm.
The versatility is fantastic.
what's his how much has he made so far in his career?
career earnings?
Yeah. I want to put a 1B out there for who delivered though, because I think it's pretty impressive to be on a team that lost 9-2 and not to be on the ice for 1 goal against. So I'm going to give it to Edmonton legend, number 10, Klim Kostin.
He wasn't
9 goals against and wasn't out there for one. You gave up 9 goals and he wasn't out there for one against.
I felt for him last night watching him toil away, get shit stomped in San Jose.
Yeah.
The answer to the question, though, Adam Henrique, $48 million career earnings.
Yeah, that's not maybe a bag chase. That guy might be chasing some jewelry at this point.
Well, to that point, it is interesting. This is only his second postseason appearance since his rookie year.
That's crazy.
Where he went to the final.
Nuts.
What was his team?
Jersey Devils.
Jersey. By the way, I was very wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Should we ask further as to where you were wrong?
Which time?
I was wrong with saying what players were available. I worded it incorrectly.
Yeah, that's what he's playing over there.
Wild.
He was within the range of the Oilers could afford somebody. It's like DeBrusque, Foegele,
that
Perron,
tier.
those kind of guys.
Got it.
I mean, to name a couple of the top free agent wingers,
Nekash.
Steven Stamkos plays on the wing a little bit.
But he's probably chasing a championship.
Yeah,
he ain't leaving Tampa Bay. Why the hell would you want to leave Tampa Bay? No taxes.
Yeah, a couple of guys.
Wouldn't it be great if he went to Florida?
That would be
fucking awesome.
Where could he even go? Like, I don't see.
You don't leave Tampa. If you're Steven Stamkos, you do not leave Tampa Bay. Hell no.
He did that song and dance. They paraded out the president of Canadian Tire. He's like, not for me.
Exactly. Yeah, he had his feet in the sand the whole time. He's like, they keep talking about me over there? He's like, no, I haven't turned the TV on. I've been on the beach the whole damn time.
If he ends up in Florida, that's the only place I want him to go.
Drive across.
Just for the lulls. You know?
How much can they even afford him?
No.
They have $10 million in cap space.
Who?
Tampa next year.
Yeah, I don't think, like, if he stays in Tampa, he's got to take a haircut significantly. But he's got a lot of money, so it depends how bad he wants to stay there.
Yeah, it's amazing that they've been able to keep all these guys. So who'd they lose? Palat and Killorn are like the only ones, I guess. I guess Tyler Johnson. But
Blake Coleman.
Yes.
Wasn't a goal.
The kickmaster.
It was not a goal.
It wasn't a goal.
It wasn't a goal. He's a kick. He's a cheater. I want to ask you guys something because we've got a couple of games left in the standings. The first round opponent at this point is still fluid for the Edmonton Oilers.
Right now, it's probably leaning to more Vegas.
It's leaning Vegas right now. So this is what we've got.
In LA.
Currently,
unbelievable. The
Oilers would be facing LA today. However, LA's only got one game left. They play the Chicago Blackhawks. We're going to assume that's a win. That's going to take them to 99 points. Vegas has 2 games left. One also against Chicago, the other against Anaheim. Chances are Vegas is going to win both of those. Probably.
Well,
maybe.
But to be fair, I thought Los Angeles would beat Minnesota handily, and they lost 3-0 to them last night.
I thought we were going to beat Arizona handily.
I also thought I bet on beating Arizona handily.
So
me too.
So I mean, there's an any given Sunday kind of element in there for sure, but
likely
who you prefer? Who you prefer?
Seems like Los Angeles is ducking us.
I am sitting back on a recliner right now, with my feet up, and a nice glass of something cold, and a bowl of popcorn. I don't give a shit whether we play Vegas. I don't give a shit we play the Kings.
I agree.
Give me Nashville.
But who do you prefer?
I haven't come up with any chirps yet, so I'll have to sit down and figure out the chirps first.
I prefer LA.
Goaltending situation?
I just don't think they have the horses to beat us in 7.
I'd rather. I guess I'm contradicting myself here by actually choosing one now. But,
I'm sitting back and I'm going to choose.
Give me weak spleen Vegas.
I was going to say, if you're going to get Vegas, you get them early, you get them out early before they can figure out a way to play together.
But if they're getting Vegas.
Yes.
I mean, it's an
give me Vegas
at this point, but it just you get Vegas on the other side of that bracket, and then you are on a bracket with Vancouver, Nashville, and LA. That sounds a lot more appetizing to me. But hey, if you beat Vegas in round 1, then you've just beat the Stanley Cup champions, and then your momentum should continue on for a few more rounds. So
or do I want Vegas to go to the other side and try and fight those guys? That other side is going to beat the shit out of each other.
I feel for whoever faces Dallas in round 1.
Mm-hmm. LA.
Dallas is going to be a good team. They're going to be tough.
You know what? I take it back. I want to see Vegas take on Dallas. I just think that if Vegas can get back to a bit of what they were last year, I think they can go out there and really bruise with the Stars. Obviously, we see what the NHL allowed them to get away with last year with the Axe Murderer doing his thing on Leon. If he could do some of that shit.
Mike Myers is that movie. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yeah. If he can do some of that shit with Dallas, that'd be fun to watch, and let the Jets and the Avalanche beat the shit out of each other. Let the two winners of that walk away and try and beat the shit out of each other, and we'll just coast down and take them all on in the Western Final.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm changing my answer. LA or Nashville. Don't give a shit.
I personally think the Oilers can beat whoever they've got lined up in the first round. Preference, man, selfishly, Vegas.
Yes.
Wink. Goaltending wise, I also really like the idea of going against LA for the third straight year and knocking them out for the third straight time.
Well, no save Dave going to stop us?
Or Cam Talbot.
I think Cam's got a little spot for us. He's going to let one or two by.
I enjoy Cam Talbot as a person.
Used to.
Not anymore.
Used to.
We will let him, and we will tip our cap to him, breaking Grant Fuhr's single season wins record.
Thanks for the history.
But now go away. I want to know.
Go spend time with your family with a nice long summer.
Exactly. I want to hear from you, dear listener. If you're listening to this, who would you prefer? Currently, you could make an argument for either team. Probably going to be Vegas, but you can make an argument for either team. Stranger things have happened than, going up against Connor Bedard and he maybe scores a couple and you lose.
Well, remember last year. All right.
I'm trying to listen to you and I just concussed myself. So
Knocked his head off. Wasn't it Chicago that knocked out Calgary and Pittsburgh? That ended their playoff chances, right? They won both those games.
No, we lost to them in the bubble hockey.
So you never know. Maybe the Ducks will do us a favor.
Never know. We shall see. I want to hear from you, though. Let us know. Who would you prefer to face? Dan, get your 3v3 game ready.
Woo!
Going to do a little plug here for Nation Gear. I currently, and I know you can't see me, I'm wearing the new Live Laugh La Bamba hoodie.
And nothing else.
Full Pooh Bear. Only a hoodie. You want to do it too? NationGear.ca. We're going to have some playoff events up there. We've got fresh threads up there. We've got playoff gear. We've got the, just all kinds of stuff. If you have a friend, even in another market, send them to NationGear.ca. We've got clothing for all of our team sites, all of our markets. Go check it out. All kinds of good stuff. Beautify your body leading into the playoffs. I encourage you to do so. You can even, what do you got? What is that hoodie you're wearing over there? Is that the varsity line?
The varsity collection, yes.
You can wear one of those. Dan is currently wearing a prototype of the Hockey Fights gear we're working on.
Yeah, the hoodie isn't available, but you can get this in a shirt and or hat currently.
NationGear.ca. Go get after it. Nation Dan, explain the game. What are we doing today on 3v3?
Well, it's everybody's favorite game, Dan's 3v3 game, but today, in honor of the Coyotes, and this being the final time ever for another 5 years that we will see an Arizona Coyote in a jersey. So we're going to do a draft of 3 skaters that have either played for the Oilers or the Coyotes, but that doesn't include the Jets. There's the small caveat there. So you can't include former 1.0 Jets unless they also played for the Coyotes. And the bonus is going to be selecting a now defunct NHL team.
Dead teams.
Yes. So you'll be drafting 3 Oilers/Coyote skaters, and the bonus is a defunct NHL team. And I did the list randomizer while we were talking, and Baggedmilk, you go first, Rick, myself, and Liam. So it actually kind of followed our order today. But Baggedmilk, you're first on the board with your pick of either an Oilers/Coyote or a bonus defunct NHL team.
I'm just having a good time looking at some of these names, to be honest. Some of these are fun. Some of these are names that I kind of forgot about. And some of these are names that I would definitely want on my team.
Any of these guys.
Well, I forgot that they played in certain areas. Man, there's a lot of
huge Chris Colanos fan the whole time.
There's a lot of guys who have played for both franchises, really. So this is the possibilities are endless. But I'm going to start it off, Dan. You ready?
I am.
Ray Whitney.
That'll help.
Hell of a pick for old Team Baggedmilk to jump things off. Ray Whitney.
Baggedmilk starts us off with Ray Whitney. Rick, you are next on the board with either an Oiler or a Coyote or a defunct NHL team.
Well, I'm going to go back to one of my favorite players from the 90s. He had probably one of the coolest helmet designs out there. We're going with Curtis Cujo Joseph.
Ooh, nice pick.
Thank you.
Goes into the net. Rick heading into the net grabs Curtis Joseph. I am going to grab former friend of the show. I guess he's probably still a current friend of the show. Maybe he doesn't hate us yet. George the Rock, former Coyote and Edmonton Oiler, now a part of Dan's fantasy 3v3 team. And Liam, you get to grab 2 picks, one on the way out and one on the way back into round 2.
I will go Mike Smith.
Mike Smith in the nets for Liam.
Goalie?
We don't have to, but
just a good guy, right?
yeah.
Scored a goal too.
Grabbed Mike Smith off the board. You can grab another player or
Another goalie.
a defunct NHL team.
I will go Taylor Hall.
A Taylor Hall pick is a good pick. Former
First overall pick.
Arizona Coyote.
How long did he play there? Oh,
Taylor
35
Hall.
games.
Yeah.
Went there to get traded.
What a weird career Taylor Hall's had.
He's had a few of those pickups where he's gone to a team just to get traded. Speaking of getting traded, I'm going to grab one Louis DeBrusque. Louis
Big
DeBrusque off the board. I'm going with the tough angle with my team, as you can see, with Big George and Louis. Rick, to add to Curtis Joseph, what would you like to pick next? Yeah, see here,
Well,
You got Rob Klinkhammer staring right at you.
I know, but I'm going to go with someone who was a 2-time Oiler, I believe, if I remember correctly. Again, around the time of the late 90s, I believe, although it probably tells me exactly right here. It was actually maybe the early 2000s.
Was his father a brick?
He was not.
Oh, owner? No.
But I remember he was a very, very offensive player back in the day, a player that you didn't really think would end up on the Oilers. But we're going with Peter
Derek Brassard.
Nedved. Oh, not the PK specialist.
Penalties. Yeah, I was going to say PK specialist. Who'd you
Peter
say?
Nedved.
Peter Nedved grabbed off the board. Bagged milk. Now that you can't take Nedved, who would you like to pick?
Well, so I got Ray Whitney up front. He's going to score me some goals, right? On the back end, I need somebody to keep him out. I need somebody tough. I need somebody I could depend on.
Mike Smith's already been taken.
That man is Igor Ulanov.
Classic.
Love it.
I think I got a great team building here.
He's a hard-nosed defender for you.
Fucking right he is.
And we're back into round number 3, starting off with Bagged Milk.
Oh, shit.
He got so excited about Igor Ulanov.
You know what? I'm going to do it because I'm pulling on the heartstrings. If you're voting for me, vote for me as I choose with my third pick.
If you're voting for me, vote for me. Got it.
Sam Gagne.
Hard to follow, but
Sam Gagne. Welcome home. Team Bagged Milk.
Put that on your road.
tough to follow up that slogan of if you're voting for Bagged Milk, vote for Bagged Milk. Rick, who are you voting for?
Oh boy.
So I'm supposed to avoid the guys who are under the Arizona Coyotes list if they're pre-1996.
If they were a Jet. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
We have to just know that.
But
I'm old
no
enough. I remember those
Momantha.
things.
but some of them do count, like Igor played for both franchises.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, the guy I was looking at, the guy I was gonna go with, not going with, but gonna because it doesn't fit the bill, was gonna be Bobo.
Yep.
However, I really like the car, so we're gonna go with the Lamborghini Perlini.
Need a little positivity in your life.
Yeah, I still think about that
just for the
post-game
dog.
thing, you know?
That's fair. Yeah. The post-game speech was pretty epic though. Yep. I'm going to go into the net as well. And I'm going to grab the goalie that just knows about the universe and a thing or two about bears. Ilya Brizgalov is going to tend the net for me with Louis DeBrusque and George the Rock in front of him. So Liam, you got to try and follow that up with your pick of both a defunct NHL team and one more Oiler/Coyote.
Well, the defunct NHL team, I'll go with that one first because this was the first time I saw a team disappear.
Where'd they go?
They went to Winnipeg. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Thrashers. Great jerseys. A lot of good players come through that.
Still
franchise.
a great Twitter handle to follow.
Still a really good Twitter handle.
Not Thrashers, if you're on Twitter still.
With my final pick, and I'm going to take this guy. Actually, it's a tough one.
I really appreciate that.
People don't understand the pressure we put on ourselves to go through this.
We're looking at a list of a bunch of players here. We want to build the best possible team. This isn't easy.
So right now I have, who do I have again?
Who do you have again?
Mike
You
Smith
have
and Taylor
Mike Smith
Hall.
and Taylor Hall. Yeah.
Things.
So I need a bit of meat and potatoes, I think is fair to say.
Like a nice stew?
I'm going to go You know, if we're playing 3v3, I'm going to need some face-offs one here. I'm going to take
The commissioner.
the commissioner.
Wow.
Floyd Gordon.
Yeah.
Although there's a guy on here, and I'm going to say his name because I don't remember him ever playing for them. Drake Caggiula played for the Phoenix or Arizona
Yes, he did.
Coyotes.
Yeah.
He played as many games for Phoenix as he did for Edmonton.
That makes sense.
And he's still currently
He's only here for a
our
year.
product right now.
Is he here for more than 2 years?
I don't think so.
He played 27 games for the Oilers.
Yeah.
That's all?
Scored.
Is he not?
Oh, no. Misread it.
This guy's
Liam's-
wrong. Liam's wrong today.
The stat checks on Liam have been incredible of himself.
He was actually looking at the plus minus.
Played
I love it.
156 games for the Oilers, 27 goals.
Now that we've had you derail our game, we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna select
Drake
the
Caggiula.
defunct franchise of the Quebec Nordiques. We
Still
talked
living
about
in
it.
Many men's leagues.
Yes. Yeah. The Quebec Nordiques join Brisgaloff, DeBrusque, and Larocque. If you're going to vote for Dan, vote for Dan. But over to you, Rick, with your final pick of a defunct NHL franchise.
I think the most interesting one I can't pick because I hate, and I use that term not loosely, their current home and their current squad. So, and I don't like them either. We're just going to go to a fun old one and go to California Golden Seals.
The California Golden Seals with the
Where did
teal
they
jersey to San Jose.
They became the Cleveland Barons.
Actually,
back to
I want
San
to take
Jose?
that answer back because now that I follow this, they became the Barons and
then
the
the
Barons
Rockies?
became the North Stars and the North Stars became the Stars. I absolutely despise that. I'm going to change. I'm going to the Colorado Rockies because I don't really care about two shits about the Devils.
Okay, Colorado Rockies. That was a long way to get there, but we did it. Bagged Milk with the final pick of the 3v3 game, Oilers and Coyotes, your defunct NHL team.
So
Bagged
I got
Milk.
to pick a team here that is no longer with us, RIP. So I'm going to go back to 1930 when the Pittsburgh Pirates folded up shop in the NHL. And it's pretty amazing they turned into a baseball team. So a lot of versatile players on the 1930 Pittsburgh Pirates,
Yeah, okay.
Arguably is-
multi-sport.
multi-sport athletes. They're basically Bo Jackson before it was Bo Jackson. It was Bo
for him.
Jackson.
And both franchises have had about as much success as each other.
Do you know what's crazy? Oh, I didn't read the side part.
Man, Liam in the stat
I really
checks
wish
today.
you said that before reading the side part.
But it's like, so obviously this was like the 20s and 30s, but when the Pittsburgh Pirates go to Philadelphia, then they just had 1 year and they were like, we're good. But
Well, we gave it a shot here, boys.
And then there was the Ottawa Senators, 1917 to 1934, who went to St. Louis to become the Eagles, who were just done after a year. Then I read the reason, and it was multiple. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams here that financial problems during the Great Depression. I have heard of it.
Great Depression took down a few
They
franchises.
should have
Yep.
just got outside in the sun more and that depression would have gone away. That
Totally.
vitamin D.
Yeah, maybe eat a nice banana,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little water.
Or the Montreal Wanderers' lack of available players due to World War I and their arena burnt down.
That sounds like an excuse.
Well,
Oh well. 1-5 record. Franchise.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's too bad.
Why
You
would
wouldn't have heard all of that, dear listener, if it
Wait,
wasn't for Dan's 3v3.
Who's on the phone offering me a contract? They're 1-5. No, I'm going to go to the war.
My grandfather got drafted or picked by the Yankees and opted to stay in Winnipeg and be the manager of a bank instead because it was going to be a long train ride and a long summer of playing baseball.
back in those days, the Yankees, their jerseys were all itchy and shit. Nobody wanted to wear those wool
Yeah.
things, you know?
True. They never became anything anyway.
No.
Not really.
You know, it's the middle of summer, you're playing baseball with heavy wool clothes on. Nobody wants that.
Gross.
Although the Ottawa Senators back in 1917 have the best win percentage by a defunct team ever.
Weren't they the Silver Sevens?
No, it says the Ottawa Senators.
Oh, I thought that was the Silver Sevens.
I don't know, Dan. I'm just,
Because the Senators, I think they claim that history as their own now.
oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
I find that weird because, like,
It
the
says
Jets, who are the Thrashers, still claim Jets history, even though they're now the Coyotes, who are now the Salt Lake City.
that's the thing. Like,
But they don't talk about the 1.0 Jets in Winnipeg. They talk about the 1.0 Thrashers. Like they don't.
But like, don't they
don't
like
acknowledge
Dale Hawerchuk and shit? Like they don't.
Well, but they
bring
don't
him
acknowledge like the teams because that's not their history. Their history is the Thrashers. And like we got to.
around. I want to see no more Dale Hawerchuk.
The first year that I was hired here, the Jets reached out and asked for us to come, and we were like,
"You want to hit the road with Art again?"
Yeah, exactly. Baggedmilk was like, "Got a job for you, Dan. You're going to go for 13 hours and drive the guy that manages Jets Nation for us because he doesn't drive himself. Drive him to Winnipeg." But we got taken into like this alumni room, and they explained it to us that they don't touch the 1.0 history because of the Arizona Coyotes reach history, which is working out well for them.
I just love that the team moved back there. They call it the Jets again. They're just like, what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Should have called them the Blue Bombers.
I think about that sometimes.
How often?
Every now and then.
Is this your Roman Empire?
How
often do you think of defunct NHL franchises?
The Atlanta Thrashers, the history of the Thrashers, and like I said, they had a lot of good players go through there. Like Evander Kane was drafted, but was an Atlanta
Ray
Thrasher.
Ferraro.
Marion Hossa.
Dustin Byfuglien.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
Wasn't Darcy Tucker one? Like,
I thought we were talking good players.
Tons of guys, and they just like completely glossed over that they were ever part of NHL history. It's weird. It's really weird.
Well, but not like they're not glossed over as a part of NHL history. It's just that nobody carries on those highlights because the franchise is defunct, and the Jets also stay away from that completely.
Yeah.
Like they don't touch it. Like their franchise doesn't talk about it openly on social media.
It took Carolina a long time to recognize they were the Hartford Whalers. And now that they do that, people are pissed.
People get frustrated with it.
And there was another thing too, isn't it? That doesn't Dougie Hamilton wear a retired number by Hartford? There was someone who's on Carolina now whose number was retired by Hartford and they didn't bring it to Carolina. It might have been a recent thing because I'm sure it was one of those like, it might have been Jack Edwards who really made a big deal out of it last year. And he was saying how ridiculous it was. And I kind of agree with him. Like, you can't just erase that.
So just a quick Google here. Gordie Howe's number 9 has remained retired by the team since he hung up the skates in 1990. I don't know this guy's first name.
Dougie wears 9?
Gordie Howe?
No, Dougie? Hamilton wears 9?
I got 2 more here.
Oh.
I don't know the first guy's name. Something McKenzie and Rick McKenzie's number 19 and Rick Lay's number 2 were put back into use when the team moved to Carolina. So those are 2 numbers.
It was Rick Lay. That's the one new.
That's the one.
I can't remember who did it. I think it's kind of crazy. I think that's
so. Whoever wears number 2, you rascals.
But it's not like those aren't. I guess like it would be different if it was him wearing number 9.
He was a captain for 6 years, so that I can understand why Whalers fans are upset about that.
I guess like for me, that doesn't mean anything to anybody in Carolina. It would be different again if it was Gordie Howe's number that he was taking, but it's like, it's just some dude. Like it would be like if the Oilers went to Houston and we were like, don't use number 3 because Al Hamilton was our first captain and we retired his number. It's a different conversation.
I'll fight all of them for this.
As soon as he's done in the Mascot Hall of Fame, that's exactly where he's going.
We still got to get down.
Did you know that there's a meme Hall of Fame in China I just read about? Well, that's the next goal.
Reach out to that one next.
Yeah.
See if we can get into the meme Hall of Fame in China.
We are going to take a real quick break, and then when we come back, it is time for Waz's signature segment. Can you clear that up for me? Joining us now on the program, Matthew Wozniak.
Not on your camera though.
He's not on camera.
You can see his leg, foot. And you can see Baggedmilk's foot. All 5 of us are on there. Foot.
Unless Waz puts his head on Liam's shoulder.
Would be the first time.
Put your head on
you just interrupted a conversation I was having with our marketing lady.
What were we
talking
talking
about?
What
conversation are you guys having?
Sorry, I should have waited.
Does she have a name?
Just talking about content in the playoffs.
And what did Maddie need from you?
Not much. We're just chatting.
Take people behind the scenes, Waz.
Yeah,
we're on a convo.
Potentially go on the streets and interview people before and after games.
To the streets.
To the streets.
Just any street.
I suggest you stick to
I mean, I don't know if we'll go that
You're going to start at First Street and
stay
First
on the
Ave.
sidewalks.
Yep.
It does not sound safe.
Yeah. I saw some
Good Lord.
violent activity outside the arena last night, but that's all I'll say.
This arena?
The Rogers place.
What happened? Where were you?
I was just, but
Clear it up for me.
I was just calling an Uber, and the next thing you
You
know,
were calling an Uber.
yes, and I saw a few fists flying.
Is that how
Did you
Ubers work?
participate?
No, I was just, I'm going to wait a minute here before I cross the road.
Was it
You
a
asked them to wait to fight until after you
No,
crossed the road.
I was inside and I was watching from a distance, you know? I was
So
like,
you didn't try and stop it.
no, I didn't stop. I'm not getting involved.
Did you hang up the call to Uber?
Yes, I canceled my Uber. And then I'm like, hold on a minute. There is a fight breaking out. Please give me a moment.
Safety for everybody involved. Waz is a good Samaritan.
Yes.
Thank you for clearing that up for us, Waz.
Yes.
If you're looking for a trusted professional fence company right here in Alberta and one that can do it all, you count on Duragard Fence Limited. For 37 years, they've been offering a manufacturing, installing, and repair service, as well as a whole range of do-it-yourself options. Waz, looking to build a fence? Duragard Fence Limited has got the most highly trained and experienced fence installers operating the most modern fleet of equipment here in Alberta. Duragard Fence is your one-stop shop and has been for over 37 years. Waz? Over to you.
All right, my first clear me up for me is, are we underestimating the LA Kings? In a sense, they also have a lot of motivation to defeat the Oilers, like Vegas for us. They want to slay the dragon that is the Oilers. Should we be worried about that?
They just took a knee against the Minnesota Wild. They're scared of us.
Oh.
Yeah, Kings are ducking. Because we're probably going to get Vegas now.
What was the score in the
3-0?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I hear what you're saying, Waz, and understandable that the LA Kings would have a big target painted on the Edmonton Oilers because we're the team that's eliminated them the last 2 years running. But no, the Los Angeles Kings don't give me any fear. The only team in the West that even gives my stomach a slight bit of upset is the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, no, sorry, what are you saying again? Do the Oilers...
Are we underestimating the LA Kings?
Say the Oilers figures off against the Kings. Are we just taking them too lightly?
Yeah, I think we are, because it seems like a lot of us think we're just going to walk all over them. They have taken us to 6 games and
7
the year before. Yeah. So I just don't think they have enough players to beat us if we were to face them. I think they would give us a series again because they're good, but I'd take Stuart Skinner over Rittich or Talbot any day of the week.
Us in this room, maybe, but that really doesn't matter because we're not playing. Those guys in the ice are not. That won't be an issue.
I don't, even if the Oilers did match up against the Kings, I don't think they would take them lightly at all. I think fans are probably more confident than they should, but like Rick said, there's a job to be done and the Oilers are going to handle it.
All right, thank you. For the next one here is, how come for some teams, the regular season success cannot translate to the playoffs? For example, last year, the Oilers ended the season hot, but they cooled off in the playoffs.
Why'd you use that example instead of the one when Tampa Bay got swept by Columbus?
Well, you could also bring up the 2022 Flames, right?
Never heard of them.
Flames, yeah.
Bruins last year.
I think that the prime candidate for that this year is going to be the Canucks because they kind of skated through the season without any adversity. They're going into the playoffs kind of like everything's rosy.
There's a different level of hockey being played in the playoffs. The intensity goes up. The game is different. Guys are always more physical. It's just a different, higher test version of hockey in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think it maybe it's hard to get yourself out of a funk as well in the playoffs.
There's no time for those
players, right?
No time for that.
Last year we saw Nuge, Hyman and Kane not do anything against Vegas specifically. And then they didn't have enough time to get out of it. In the regular season, like if you go in a funk like Kane did, it's going to be fine because it's like 30 games left. You might only have 2 games left, for example. So I think it's just more difficult to get back into the rhythm of the game if you're out of it.
Funny how he uses that example as getting out of a funk and not the one that he thought that was never going to be able to get out of a funk in Connor Brown.
Oh,
well, Connor Brown had 82 games to figure it out. It took him like 60. But you look at I guess a positive one, which isn't positive for Edmonton, is Jonathan Marchessault didn't score a goal until the second game against the Oilers in that round, in that series, and then won the Conn Smythe. You just you get hot and go.
Huh, interesting.
But if you're cold, you're ice.
Yeah.
On the ice.
You also think teams start to have a better understanding of each other over a 7-game series?
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Of course.
From each other.
Well, and I think that's where the additions this season give the Oilers different looks and more versatility than they ever have before, and the ability to slide in and out guys from your bottom 6 into your top 6. It's you're going to be able to give these teams different looks than we have in the past, where it's just defaulted to McDavid and Draisaitl.
Last one I got up here, Dan, I think you touched on this on Owen Everyday. I understand there's different factors at play, but how come the NHL never wants to expand into Canada or move a franchise to Quebec, for example? I know money's a big thing, but just why are there any, I just kind of want to know more about this.
Isn't it population?
There's population's a big part of it. And all corporate sponsorship, that's a big problem with Quebec is they just don't have the big companies around that are going to want to scoop a bunch of this up.
CDN USD.
That is also a thing.
Also, you have to get
because everything in the NHL is paid in US dollars, right? So like that is a big part of it.
And I don't know if this is true or not. I know I'm fairly certain it is when it comes to like the Hamilton area, but Montreal has to sign off on it. Like there's like you can't have two teams in too close of an area, something like that. Because I know that's kind of been the talk about Ontario before.
I think another thing too. Where would you go?
Quebec.
Like Quebec City is the only
one out there.
Like you look at the US and we talk about like, okay, so Phoenix is going to lose theirs. Salt Lake City, Houston, Kansas. There's so many.
They're talking about going back to Atlanta, just monster cities.
Oh yeah, these like they have insane populations, right?
And like, I think these teams would be very well supported if they came by the fans. But like you said, like the problem is like, imagine if you put a team in Saskatoon or Regina or something.
Like there'd be watermelon helmets everywhere.
It would be great. It'd be a great fan base, but nobody would sponsor the team and they wouldn't survive. And they'd be the Montreal Wanderers before we know it.
Interesting. Okay.
They'd have to learn how to play baseball and join Major League Baseball.
Well,
like the Pirates.
For clearing that up for me.
You're welcome, Waz.
I hope you learned something today, Waz. I hope you learned something.
Enjoy your conversation. See his.
Oh, she's gone now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully you can find her.
See, he picked his feet up and didn't shock himself.
I never noticed.
We taught Liam something about physics today.
Crazy.
And static electricity.
Yep.
So have you guys noticed that about me just in general?
Well, you like...
Wait, what?
Perhaps if we started shaking hands every time we greet, I would notice that I get shocked by you every time. But like, I always bow at everybody, which is custom.
So I don't think the listeners know what we're talking about.
So every time I touch the door, oh yeah, we did that off.
Yeah, I was just trying to bring everybody up to speed there. Yeah.
So it's only this door. Whenever I touch the studio door, I shock myself.
He's referring to the door handle, by the way.
And when I went up to the door to go and get Waz, and when I rudely interrupted his conversation, apparently, I touched the door and just before I did, I was like, ready for me to get sparked. And then I got shocked.
Yep.
And everyone, ha 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 ha. And now here we are.
But then we learned that you drag your feet everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. That explains why my...
The soles of your shoes wear down quickly?
I think the issue was you stared at the eclipse too long.
Oh, actually, could
and you got a superpower.
I wasn't wearing shoes before.
Could be.
That's kind of crazy.
Especially you're a foot dragger.
Dude.
Yeah.
You know what do you have carpet in your house?
Do I have what?
Carpet?
Just in the basement.
I want you to pop some wool socks on. You go rip around your basement, drag your feet around. You can zap anybody you want, my friend.
It's true.
Walk up to any light fixture after it and just touch it. You'll see the power coming from you.
You will be Magneto.
A big electric shock actually it gives you a little bit of a sting.
It does.
Like I don't know how
It'll
people
wake you up.
survive that. An electric shock or a lightning strike.
Some chairs do ensure that people do not survive.
There's a video out there, Liam, if you want to see something crazy with electricity, there's a dude that got struck by lightning 3 times in a row.
Whoa.
He's just like walking along the road and the lightning strikes him. And then he's like, whoa, gets back up again. And then lightning strikes him. And then he walks away a little bit further and lightning strikes him and he survived.
Man, what did that guy do?
Crazy.
That guy he did some shit.
Right before that, he promised something. May God strike me down. He's like, yo, chill. I said just once.
That guy's got skeletons and they're going to come out at some point. Before we wrap up the podcast, just a couple more things that I want to talk about. Did you just hit your head again?
Yeah. Don't ask him any more questions today.
Oh, God.
Dan's used to sitting on the end. He's not used to being by the TV.
I don't feel well.
Can we get some like...
My right eye started twitching randomly after the last one. When I was looking at Liam, my right eye like closed on its own.
We're going to wrap the corners just like just like they do for toddlers.
Oh my... What?
What are you looking at?
Is that at your work?
Yeah, so I was plugging something. This is a long time ago. This is still a shaved head.
My goodness.
I was plugging something in.
We'll put this on our socials.
Shocked.
That's incredible.
You got zapped on camera?
Yeah, everything's on like the security camera.
You can see
this was on the security camera.
The lightning strike and everything.
Oh, wow.
So it didn't hurt that much. It scared me. And my fingers went black. I think like 2 or 3 fingers went black.
Oh, my goodness. I think the final thoughts here are electricity can be scary sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or, in the case of static electricity, all kinds of fun. But the things I want to talk about before we wrap up the podcast, 2 things. Evan Bouchard last night, couple of points for the man, became the first Oilers defenseman since Paul Coffey in 1986 to hit 80 points in a single season. Shout out to Dad.
That's incredible.
Shout out to Dad at $3.9 million because he is a steal. Enjoy it while you can, friends.
I was driving beside him today.
What kind of whips do you have?
Audi.
Does he?
Yeah, like an SUV thingy.
Good for him.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to Gregor broke a little news. Expect Philip Broberg to join the Oilers for the final 2 games of the season against Arizona and Colorado.
Good.
That's fair.
I was actually listening to Grant Fuhr on the big program.
The big program.
And Grant Fuhr, I think he's the goalie coach for Coachella Valley, whatever he is, he's involved in that organization.
There's a goalie portion at Coachella.
Yeah, and he runs it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So,
I wonder how
Wild part of the concert.
who hangs out over
I wonder
there.
what stage that's on.
yeah, I don't know. He was saying when Coachella played Bakersfield last time out, that Broberg was the best player on Bakersfield. He also said that Brad Malone was good. I would hope so.
Yes.
Olivier Rodrigo, as he said on the show, the big program, sorry.
Loves that song.
And Carter Savoy was the other one.
That's encouraging.
So when you look at that team, I think there's only a couple guys that I have I'd put in the category of maybe or hopefully end up in this team. Olivier's one. Then I'm looking at, I think Nemo's fallen off he's moved down a bit, I think. Broberg there. And then we have Warner and maybe Kemp, but I think he's kind of going the way of
What
Nemo.
about the Russian kid that was on fire for a while, Matt? They Petrov.
Yeah, well, then you go, look at a guy like Petrov, Tulio, Savoy, Holloway's up here already. There might be
Malone.
a fourth one, huh?
Brad Malone.
No, I think
Come up to the NHL.
that have even a
Potential.
whisper of like a career ahead of them.
Yeah, those guys I agree with. I think Savoy.
Did I say Lavoie? I meant Lavoie too.
Savoy could. I think the problem with him is he's
Size and skates.
a lot of injuries too.
Yeah.
So it's been hard to him to find a rhythm. So yeah, who did you say? Lavoie, Broberg.
So no, it's Broberg's up already, so he doesn't count.
Oh, Borgo.
Holloway's up, he doesn't count. So I'm looking at not Borg. Borgo, I think is kind of going the way of Nemo. I'm looking at the goalie and Olivier. I'm looking at Warner. And then up looking at Tulio, Carter, Lavoie, and Petrov.
Hamlin.
Not as an order.
Jaden Gruby as a window as well, I would say. And then also the gentleman who
Snaps.
just retired and came back. What was his?
Oh,
Luke, not Luke, Philp. No, Philp. His brother's
Yeah,
Luke.
Philp.
So
That'll
he
be an
could come back
interesting one
next
too.
year.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he'll need time in the American League, but
A full season down there. He was on my.
I don't know. He might not need a full. He might need like half a year to come up because people were saying he had a pretty good shot making the team this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but
Paul, do you think it's going to take him a full year to get back up to speed? Probably.
no.
No?
Not if he's that
I don't know
good,
what
then he
he's been doing, right? Like if he's been skating and stuff, like it's fine. Like maybe he'll be able to get back into the rhythm of things. I think if you give him say
A full off season?
All-Star break up to the All-Star break. So it was like 6 weeks ago they announced he's going to come back and everything.
Sure.
So I would assume let's say he started his game from then. It's a long.
I'd assume
long
he's been
runway.
skating the majority of this calendar at the very least.
I would assume that too.
Like I know he left for personal reasons, stuff like that, but I think none of it really had to do with hockey. And I think hockey's not really the reason why you're leaving. You're not really leaving hockey then. So then in your spare time, you're still out there doing things.
Yeah, that's fair. Do we have anything else, or do you mind if I give a shout out?
Feel free.
So the University of Denver won the NCAA title this past Sunday or Saturday.
This is correct.
Former Sherwood Park Crusader Cale Ashcroft was on the team, a local boy from St. Albert. He didn't play in the game. He's just a.
Did you
freshman.
scout
Well,
him?
I was just on the media team when I was there, but Cale was great. He was always the one that would come out and volunteer with us all the time. First guy up, just a really good person. So congratulations to him. There's a lot of Albertans on that
That's
team.
neat.
Too. Matthew Davis, who is the
Right.
goalie. I'm sure you guys all saw that save. Spruce Grove Saint. So credit to him. Freddie Halleck, too, the other goalie, played for Camrose, and there was a couple of the guys who played in Alberta. So congratulations to them.
Also, congratulations to you, Liam, for winning our nation staff masters pool.
Thank you. Hold the applause, please.
I thought
It was quite a run, I thought.
when Liam asked to be given a shout out, I thought we were going to get into curling talk again.
Oh, that was crazy.
I was pretty
Are you much of
excited.
a curling fan?
Don't care.
This is a
huge story.
It's huge. It's one of the best teams
They were the best
in the
team
world,
in
if
North
not
America.
Inspire
Ranked.
me to get into it.
This isn't going to do it
So
for you.
you've
But
got
Well, you would have spoken to them on real life before. When
one of the best teams in the world.
Okay.
Team
Just-
Botcher.
Yeah, they just
Rick
dropped.
knows how to speak Baggedmilk. I
Yeah, so
trust you.
team Botcher, Brendan Botcher is the skip, therefore the captain, or the
Park.
that's the way you kind of look at it.
Okay.
They released a press release today that said, and it's funny they worded it this way, but like everybody but him,
including the coach.
like yeah, everybody, like trainers, guys who tie your skates and all that shit, they are leaving him. They are leaving the team.
Are they starting a new team?
Yeah, essentially. So why
So
they?
they're Puma to his Adidas.
Yeah, so why they?
Bingo.
There's obviously something going on there because
Yeah.
normally you just say, well, this guy's leaving us.
Yeah, normally it's like an
But they're
announcement by that
leaving.
person.
Said captain, said leader. We all are leaving. We're all going over here. There's some sort of rift in that team.
It's like a Formula One switch where like the entire like Mercedes is
They
like
just
we're
leave the
no
driver.
longer driving you with you, Lewis Hamilton. We're gonna put somebody else in that car.
Okay.
Crazy developments, if I have to be honest. It's only been 2 years that this team has been rolling. They have underachieved. They did not win the Brier in either year they were together, finished third both years. Gushu beat them. But they've been on real ice before. Ben Hebert and Mark Kennedy.
I do remember talking to Benny Heaps.
So that was right when that team was brought together. So
Was Mark
crazy.
Kennedy
We'll
on the
see
show?
what happens. The landscape of curling is changing, folks. Don't let it pass you by.
Do not.
Although
I'm in.
curling season just ended. So
I'm
we have to wait.
intrigued.
That's why they make the moves.
I
Listen,
know.
if you had told me it was a turf war, then you would have got me instantly because now I can tie it. It's the Puma to Adidas.
Well, the crazy
Those were
thing-
brothers. At one time, they were lovers. Not really. They were brothers. Still are, I guess.
Another layer to all of this is so the Olympics are in 2 years. So typically they would wait a little bit longer to see if the team could get going. Then they would change it probably the end of next season. But to do it this early, I think it's quite interesting. I think Kuri's
Shenanigans in the curling
Who?
world, friends.
I think Kuri's going to be their skip. I think Kuri's team stinks, and Kuri needs a new 1, 2, 3.
I'm down
Kennedy
with that.
and Hebert have already
be a good
played
move.
together
Yeah.
before with him.
Yeah.
And
In the
I think
Olympics.
Nichols should leave Gushu's team, leave him high and dry, and come skip this
But
team.
they can't.
I know, but I just think they
because
should.
you can only have one import, and Gallant is the import. And
Congratulations.
Glants are
Dan.
always in the way, aren't they?
Yes,
Congratulations.
we always
That's
are.
why he got here from Halifax.
It's
true.
We're only allowed one
That is
import.
the one import.
Actually, Liam, that means you have to go.
Bad news.
and I guess to finish off, they curl out of Chestermere, and Kevin Kuri lives in Calgary. Do your own research, folks.
The lines are being tied.
Yep.
The points.
So get ready for that
A
press
to B
release.
to C and back to A again.
Should we bring a third episode of this podcast every week and just do podcast or curling talk the
Just
entire
curling.
time?
We could get Botcher on.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do
his
it.
side of the tail.
Dig into
For
the
week
details?
1 of the playoffs. Brendan Botcher,
All
guest
right,
on
your
Over.
Oilers round 1 preview. We're going to talk a little
Quickly
curling.
cover the game. Well, that game was over real quick, and we'll move on to something more important.
Lastly, a couple of score predictions, boys. Let's get them in. Tomorrow against the Arizona Coyotes, Lehman.
What was it when we were down there? 5-2. I'll say 5-2 again.
Was it 6-3?
Okay, 6-3. Whatever
Nation
the
Dan.
score was when we were there.
Liam stopped paying attention after
Against the
5-2.
Coyotes, Nation Dan.
I'm going to say 4-1 Oilers win.
Rick?
5-0.
4-2 win for the Oilers in the very last game for the Arizona Coyotes, as Dan said, for the next 5 years or so.
Forever.
On Thursday, we got another one against the Colorado Avalanche. I'm starting off with a 4-2 win. Rick?
4-1, and we finish first in the division.
Nation Dan.
McKinnon and company win that one 5-2.
Because most of the Oilers aren't playing. Go.
Yes.
Liam,
I think they might lose that one too.
what's your
I
score
think
prediction?
they take most of the Arizona game off, and if there's something to play for on the
Hold on.
Colorado game, that's when you'll see them.
The whole season, Liam has predicted the Oilers are going to win every game.
Well, I did say at the start of the year they'd be 81-1.
So this is the one.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.